No Men Are Foreign by James Kirkup. No Men Are Foreign is a poem that will continue to remain relevant for a few years now, given that it addresses topics of xenophobia, brotherhood, and unity. We understand the last two terms, brotherhood and unity. Brother is a genuine and sincere feeling of love and trust between two or more people, and unity is when people work together. Both these themes form the crux of the popular saying, live and let live. Now, let's look at xenophobia. What do you think xenophobia means? Phobia clearly means fear, and xenophobia is the fear and hatred of foreign people and cultures. Can you think of instances where xenophobia has been prevalent in history and even a cause of war in the past? Can you now think of instances where you have seen this happen over the past year? Let's look at the poem line by line and see what advice the poet has for the human race. Remember, no men are strange, no countries foreign. Beneath all uniforms, a single body breathes. Like ours, the land our brothers walk upon is earth like this, in which we all shall lie. In the first stanza, the poet urges the reader to remember that all men are equal and all countries merely a map with borders. Beneath what one wears in any part of the world remains one single race, that of mankind. We will all be born into the same earth, we will all walk the grounds of the same soil, and when we die, we will all be buried in the same earth. They too, aware of sun and air and water, are fed by peaceful harvests, by war's long winters starved. Their hands are ours, and in their lines we read a labor not different from our own. The poet tries to make his point by illustrating how they, the people from a different country, are survived by the same sun, air, and water as we are. He says that they too rejoice in ample harvest and they too starve during the trying winters. And what's more, their hands are very much like ours, worn and weary with love and labor. He beautifully puts forward this particular thought by saying, in their lines we read, referring to the lines on our palms. Remember, they have eyes like ours that wake or sleep, and strength that can be won by love. In every land is common life that all can recognize and understand. He further talks about how their day starts and ends by the opening and closing of eyes. We all possess this special strength of love which makes or breaks families, friendships, and nations. But in every land there exists a similar routine followed by the local people. And when we realize this universality, this commonness in purpose, we will all be able to recognize the futility of war. Let us remember, whenever we are told to hate our brothers, it is ourselves that we shall dispossess, betray, condemn. Remember, we who take arms against each other. Everything that the poet has been saying culminates in this paragraph, where he brings up the central idea or purpose of the poem, that of peace amongst nations. He says that to hate someone is equivalent to hating oneself. To deprive someone of freedom and to destroy someone's life is equivalent to depriving yourself of freedom and life. the price that has to be paid in the name of war is borne by both sides. Hence, what is the point of war when everyone suffers? The poet urges the person taking up arms to remember this before acting. It is the human earth that we defile. Our hells of fire and dust outrage the innocence. Of air that is everywhere our own, remember, no men are foreign and no countries strange. Going to war defiles the earth that is common to all. It pollutes the air that we all breathe, and it spoils the soil on which we all reside. Loss is common to all when there is immense bloodshed and innumerable graves involved. Are wars worth it when everyone suffers? Are wars worth it when we are equal dwellers on this planet? In a beautiful rendition of refrain, the poet ends the poem with the same verse as the first, as a reminder of peace and harmony to everyone. Why do you think countries wage wars? Can this be applied to our own country, where religious disunity is becoming rampant?